This movie begins on an ordinary workday at a shopping center, but that's only at first glance. In reality, the employees lead a secret life. They prank each other and secretly entertain themselves with gambling, betting expired products. Among them is Zach, the Joker, gliding around the sales floor on roller skates. Sometimes he helps customers get discounts by tearing open product packaging. He's good-natured and on friendly terms with almost all of his colleagues, but he doesn't like the arrogant senior cashier Vince and constantly mocks him. This Vince wins the Employee of the Month competition for the 17th time, and if he is recognized again, he will break the record and be promoted to manager, plus get a Chevrolet as a gift. Vince is thrilled and does his best, charming customers and scanning items at lightning speed, reminding everyone why in the chain he is called the fastest hands in the Southwest. Zach is not ambitious, and jokingly tells his colleagues that it actually takes effort to stay at a low position on purpose. At that moment, a new employee shows up in the shopping center, the charming blonde Amy. Zach barely has time to meet her when Vince swoops in and unleashes all his charm on the girl, boasting about how successful he is. He mocks the bagger, disdainfully talking about his low-paid job. A colleague of Zach, who overheard this conversation, reminds him of Vince's many romantic conquests, and hints that the cashier has beaten him in that area too. Provoked, Zach decides to compete for the attention of the lovely Amy. To find out more about the girl, he gets her personnel file. It turns out the newcomer was transferred to this shopping center from another one because of a romance with the best employee. Zach notices how the beauty is already openly flirting with the cashier, and he decides to take part in the competition too, hoping to win Amy's favor. Not even his grandmother, with whom he lives, believes in Zach's seriousness. But the man begins to put in every effort to change his life. He starts with self-discipline, and in the morning, for the first time, he doesn't come late to work, which surprises all his colleagues. At the supermarket, he approaches Amy, who has already started her duties as cashier, but as soon as he begins talking to her, Vince interrupts him. He stages a real show, promising a customer that he will scan her mountain of products in 5 minutes, or else he'll pay for them himself. The cashier skillfully manipulates the boxes and bags, causing admiration from everyone, both visitors and colleagues. Zach gets help scoring points from his friend, who deliberately drops a glass jar from the shelf. The bagger needs to be the first to arrive to clean up the shards. But suddenly Vince shows up with a mop, and with the same firm determination to handle the problem quickly. The rivals race each other through the aisles. Suddenly Zach is knocked over by a forklift. What bad luck! And Vince wins again. But the bagger doesn't get upset, noting that he still has 29 days and plenty of energy to win this contest. Zach invites Amy to a party organized by their coworker. The girl replies that she's already busy. She's going to dinner with his main rival. Then she goes into the cashier's lounge, which is off limits to baggers. And right after her, the insolent Vince follows. This situation simply infuriates Zach. The next time the men meet after work, Zach pretends to be very happy about the cashier's date with Amy, warmly hugs his rival, and quietly pulls his wallet out of his pocket. In the evening, Vince and Amy have dinner at a restaurant, and when he wants to pay the bill, he discovers he has no money. He immediately realizes it's the bagger's tricks. The man explains the situation to the waitress, and she, smiling flirtatiously, replies that for the fastest cashier in the Southwest, everything is on the house. He puffs up like a peacock, delighted to be recognized. When he walks Amy home, he insists on coming in, but she refuses. He brazenly kisses the girl, but she dodges. It's clear she is uncomfortable. The next day, Zach returns Vince's wallet, and the rival brags about the successful date, lying about how wonderfully Amy kisses. The bagger pretends not to care, although in truth, it bothers him. But as soon as he gets a chance, he again tries to outdo the cashier. One day, Zach finds out that a boy got lost in the shopping center and asks the security guard to keep it quiet for a while, so that he can be the first to find the child and stand out. Vince also accidentally gets this information and goes looking too. The men notice the boy at the same time, but he turns out to be a little troublemaker and shoots tennis balls at them. The cashier manages to reach the mischievous child first and returns him to his mother. The touching reunion scene is observed by impressed management. Vince wins again. Amy addresses him with admiration, calling him a hero. Zach realizes he needs to act more decisively. Days go by, but nothing works out. Even though he tries, he shows up on time, refuses to hang out with friends. But the cashier still does better with every problem. One day, Zach sees a woman buying a coffin for her husband, and he offers to help deliver it to her house, but she refuses. Then, responding to his condolences, she explains that her husband is alive and well, it's just that the coffin is on sale now, so she decided to buy it in advance. On the way home, the buyer meets Zach's manager and praises the attentive employee in every possible way. After that, Zach is recognized as Employee of the Day for the first time. Amy sees the cheerful bagger celebrating his first victory and invites him out in the evening to have a drink in honor of the event. Zach even gets permission to leave work early so he can properly prepare for this important date. At home, his grandmother gives him advice. Don't rush things. Don't pester the girl with kisses and all that. Meanwhile, Vince lies in wait for Amy in the staff room and also offers to treat her to wine. He can't believe it when she turns him down. For a date with the Packer. Vince wants to sabotage the night, but doesn't know where the couple went. Zach brings Amy to a romantic dinner in an empty shopping mall. They arrange fun races on carts, watch a movie in a huge hall where it's just the two of them, and play golf in the deserted parking lot. Amy enjoys everything terribly. This is probably the best date she has ever had. She opens up to Zach and says that she likes being with him. It feels so easy and good. The man, in return, showers the girl with compliments. She suddenly brushes her hair away from her face, and it turns out she has big ears, and she's not that perfect. Zach relaxes. The fun date continues successfully. The next day, it turns out that upper management is coming for an inspection, and the store is in chaos. One register isn't working because the cashier passed away during the night. At the staff meeting, Zach volunteers to step in as a cashier. Vince objects, saying Zach has zero experience, but management agrees anyway. The Packer does the job well, and once again he's named the best worker of the day. After that, Zach goes shopping with his grandma. They bump into Amy, and the old lady casually calls her the girl with the big ears. But Amy doesn't take offense at Zach's grandma. When they're alone, Zach tells his girlfriend he's not really such a slacker. He used to be an entrepreneur, started an online store with his grandma's money, but unfortunately went bankrupt. So now they have to live together with grandma to save money. The next day, Vince for the first time fails his own signature trick, ringing up all purchases in 5 minutes. Meanwhile, the former Packer keeps getting recognized as the best worker. The sneaky cashier tries to win over Amy, even skating through the aisles on rollerblades like Zach. But the girl isn't impressed at all. Then Vince directly threatens Zach, demanding he let him win the contest and back off from Amy. But Zach refuses. Zach and Amy go out on another date. Meanwhile, Vince and one of his cronies sneak into Zach's grandma's house. The next morning, Zach finds out they messed with his alarm clock, so he oversleeps. He rushes to work and makes it in time, but then realizes his ID pass is missing, so he can't clock in. What a disaster. Vince gloats, but soon it turns out one of Zach's coworkers took his card and clocked him in right on time. Zach gets his revenge by putting Vince's car on a store shelf. According to the rules, anything placed there can be sold. A random customer buys the car for pennies. Soon, there's supposed to be a softball match between their store and a rival supermarket. The team is short one player, and Zach gets assigned to the spot. He agrees, but suddenly his friend asks him to cover his shift, so Zach stays at work. Unable to resist, he eventually runs to the field to help his team. They win. For that, the Packer earns another positive mark. Meanwhile, The contest score between him and Vince is now tied. Zach's joy is dampened only by the fact that his buddy, the one he didn't cover for, gets fired. He goes to dinner with management, sees employees there, including that same friend. Zach promises to make things right, but the guy doesn't believe him. Other friends tell Zach he's become worse than Vince, that he betrayed them just for a chance to be with Amy. Amy accidentally overhears this and fights with him. The next morning, Zach doesn't go to work, thinking everyone there hates him. But Grandma cheers him up, so he visits his wronged friend. He tells him and the others that he confessed the truth to management, and the fired guy has been reinstated. Management tells the staff that Zach has quit, which means Vince officially won the competition. But then Zach shows up with his crew of friends. The rivals are assigned a final trial. Zach sneaks a moment to find Amy and thank her for pushing him to change his life. The race begins. Who can ring up groceries faster? The last items turn out to be car tires without barcodes. Both rush off to find the price. Obstacles are thrown in their way. Abandoned carts blocking the aisles. Fake customers urgently asking for items from top shelves. And in the end, the winner is Vince. At the award ceremony, Vince celebrates his victory, but suddenly a security guard shows the crowd a recording of the competition. It turns out Vince had been cheating, skipping items for speed and literally tossing them behind his back, past the register. The cheater is publicly disgraced, kicked out, and Zach is named the real winner. Amy comes up to him and kisses him tenderly. They joke that she only dates the best workers and keep on kissing. Meanwhile, Vince is forced to move to another store, but ends up under house arrest. His dirty tricks backfired badly. This is the end of the film. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this film, and see you in new videos.